happened. There was a chat coming through, and I kept clicking that instead of mine. The You were pretty modest, your time at UK Max, as far you maybe act like this was kind of out of reach for you. I guess, does it seem closer or like something that's more attainable now that you're actually going through the process?
I mean, you say modest, I say honest, but I don't know. Yeah, it does. I mean, I've definitely worked really hard at it. I've always liked to, under promise, over deliver type thing. I'll let you guys talk about my performances if you want to. I don't really need to talk about myself. So I only play a small part in the team, and I've never really seen my role as overly important or influential. So I just do what I can. To be honest, I think if you're doing less than what I'm doing, then you need to get a little bit better. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've worked really hard on it. It's something that I've always really wanted to do. It'd be great to be the first person ever drafted into the Australian Rules Football League, and then the NFL would be pretty cool. So that would be something that would be on the bucket list. But whether that happens or not, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask the scouts.
Larry Vaught.
So Max, what have you been doing since the season ended?
I mean, we still train. Just because we're punters, we still train. No, I've been actually. I work away. I say work away. I've been training away with a couple of Australian guys. I work pretty closely a lot of the time with punters down in Miami. Lou Headley, and then Matt Hayball is at FAU, and then I punt a lot with Aaron Sipos, who was at Auburn, and now he's on Philly's roster. So a lot of kicking, a lot of time in the weight room with the strength staff, looking after my body, making sure I'm ready to go for the Senior Bowl, and which has already been obviously, and now the Pro Day. I had to do a lot of work in just fine-tuning, just going back to the pro style, which I worked a lot on when I was here, but we never really did it in games, and then just getting used to the NFL football is just a little different kicking-wise. So a lot of hard work, even though it might not look like it. I'm trying to fill out this shirt the best I can. So
it's looking good.
Thank you.
So what are you hoping to show at Pro Day that maybe scouts don't already know about you?
I mean, I guess that I can spiral. You guys know, obviously, we rolled out a lot during my college career. We probably got less and less spirals each year. More so because, obviously that's the best thing to do for the team, and we're having a lot of success. But I thought we had a lot of success spiraling in football too. I don't think we were terrible out of the pocket. So I've got to go and show that, I can do that on a consistent basis. I thought I did decent at the Senior Bowl. Hopefully I can build on that and have a good day tomorrow. Thankfully, whoever's in charge of the weather has decided to make it rain and have a fair bit of wind, which is always great. So I appreciate that. Whoever was in charge of the weather, I asked if we could put a roof over the top, but apparently that's not doable in a short space of time. So hopefully I can have a good day regardless.
Nick Roush.
I know you alluded to the workouts in Miami or whatever, but when you're in Lexington, you get to work out with Wilson Berry and his brother Jordan. What are those like? And I'm just a meeting of the minds. And how do you all compare? Is it like a competition of sorts?
As always, it's good to be surrounded by educated people from a great country, so that's always a good start. But no, it's good. I mean, Jordan, in all honesty, Jordan's taught me a lot, obviously, as you can imagine. And it's great to be around someone that's much better than me, because then it makes me get better. And then hopefully for Wilson, he's as good, if not better than me. So it's great for him to be around his brother too, more consistent basis, so he can punt with him. It's quite funny, kind of being the third wheel and hearing Jordan yell at Wilson the whole time about what he should be doing better. But yeah, no, I enjoy spending time with those guys, particularly as well. Like, I think it's really important, like off the field too and outside of practice, just to be able to, talk to guys that obviously had similar upbringings than me, and we can relate to things that maybe, if I make a joke about cricket, no one laughs, but if I make a joke about cricket with those guys, they're laughing. So it's awesome, because I like to think I'm a genuinely funny guy, and most people don't laugh at me here because they don't understand my jokes. So it's good just to be around them a little bit, and like I said, it does make me get a lot better. Jordan's been really, really helpful the whole time in the process, giving me footballs, giving me advice, talking about different things, which he doesn't have to do, because obviously he's competing for a job too. So I can't thank him enough. I can't thank all the guys really that have helped me out in this short little space of time. Like I mentioned, Aaron Sipos, he's helped me out so much as well. Again, he doesn't have to do that, but all these guys have been great to me, and yeah, hopefully I can help Wilson out a little bit if he ever needs it. But I don't know if he thinks I'm good or not because he hasn't asked me for any advice yet. So I think he's just pretty sure that he's got me covered, which is fine. But yeah, we'll see how he goes this year.
What's just the biggest jump they talk about from college to the NFL? What are the biggest changes you kind of need to adjust to?
For me, it's just kicking a ball. So it's not overly. I don't know. There's not much. I mean, obviously, I had to get back into the spiral and show people that I could, but I did already feel like I could do that. But yeah, I don't know. For me, like, it's kind of an interesting process because, you know, I feel like I would love to be, you know, the 20, 21, 22-year-old guy coming into it, because I remember how excited I was when I was going into the draft process back home in Australia, and like how big of a deal it was going to be and how excited and what team was going to take me and all that. And then this time it's like, I wouldn't say been there and done that, but it's definitely exciting and it's a really big achievement if I do get to live it out. But it's also like understanding that none of that stuff really matters, and all that really matters is me controlling what I can, preparing the best I can, and doing a good job. And if teams like me, they like me. If they don't, they don't. I don't really get too carried away and all the other stuff.
Lonnie?
Yeah, you have already talked about pretty much alluded to various capabilities, but I wanted to ask you, does you said that he's better than you, and you shooting straight, you just pumping him up?
I'll pump him up so all he can do is come down from there. I'll just put the pressure on him from the start, which is always good. No, he is. He's very good. I haven't been able to see any practices yet, and obviously, like, it's always one of those things you never know until someone gets out in the field. But no, he's very good. Like I've always said, and again, I think I'm being honest, not modest. But you get some of these Australian guys over here that are better than me. You'll see that the stuff that we do is a lot of scheme stuff that's helped us. And I mean, I hope he can win the award every year and help Kentucky out. So I think he's going to be great.
Have you seen him kick before in terms of perhaps doing the sprawl part or rolling out like you did sometime and kicking? Have you seen him do that?
Yeah, I have. I've kicked with him a fair few times. We've mainly done the spiral stuff, to be honest, because that's what I feel like us Australian guys normally have to work on. But he'll be great at the rollout stuff, I'm sure. Most of us guys are decent at it. Again, it'll just, you know, I think he's got a real level head. He prepares really well, which is always the most important thing. So I think he's going to go really well. Again, we won't know till he's out on the field, but yeah, he'll be good.
Dick Gabriel?
Yeah, Max, I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet Steve Ortmeyer, who was a special teams coach here in the NFL, was also an NFL GM, and he said he believed you do have a future in the league. Have you talked to many people from the league? Because you seem, you know, unconvinced that you've really got a shot, but at least one guy said you definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think got the opportunity to meet him, unfortunately. First of all, but yeah, I mean, I've talked to teams. Always throw in there that I'm a sports psychologist if they ever need me for something outside of football. But no, I mean, like I said before, if I get serious for a second, like I've always kind of wanted to under-promise and over-deliver, and I don't feel like talking myself up helps me in any way. I don't feel like putting myself under pressure and saying I'm the best punter in the nation, or I'm, you know, going to go out there and kill it tomorrow. Like, it just doesn't. I don't feel like that's going to help. Might be muted.
For some reason. Just muted. Okay, Dow, can you hear him?
I don't know where I was at. I'll start again. So I never got the opportunity to meet him, unfortunately. But like I said before, if I'm, you know, being completely serious without kind of joking around with you guys too much, I don't really see the point in talking myself up or, you know, saying I'm the best or I'm going to have a great day or anything like that, because all it does is set me up to fail. If I, you know, approach it in a lighthearted way where I don't put any pressure on myself to perform, and I know that I prepare the best that I can, then that's all I can do. There's no point me coming out and saying I'm the greatest or anything like that. It just doesn't feel like it does anything. And if they want to draft me or if they want to take me as a free agent, then they're still going to do that, whether I say I'm good or if I say I'm terrible. So I just like to, not take myself too seriously. I really enjoy my time. Do I have a lot of self-confidence? For sure. And I think, you can't succeed and do well even at the college level unless you really believe in your skills. But there's no point, well, I don't see the point in me talking about it because, I just don't. And to be honest, I get a lot of kind of enjoyment out of the opportunity that I'm given. And I'd like to think that I always communicate that. I've been given a great opportunity here at University of Kentucky. I'm lucky to, have my health, be in a fortunate position where I had, two great parents, grew up in a great place, come over here, get an opportunity to play in front of people. And I try to, make the most of that opportunity. And hopefully the people that don't have an opportunity as good as mine can see people like myself, take the most of that and it makes them feel better because I'd like to think people back home have been put through a lot with me coming over here, maybe a selfish decision to come over here and try and pursue what I want to pursue. But if I do really well out of it and I succeed and they can get a smile out of it, they can enjoy it and they're just as big a part of it as what I am.
Good luck.
Thank you.
John Hale?
Max, if you could put your sports psychologist hat on for a minute, what was your take on just the emotional and mental toll that the last year has been on athletes in particular with the pandemic and all the restrictions, everything you guys had to go through?
I think it's always a perspective thing. I think for sure, like, if I wanted to say that I'd never struggled, I wouldn't say, because you always got to keep things in perspective. But I think people really missed competing in front of crowds. And I think for some players that really thrive off that, maybe they weren't able to have the year that they wanted to. And then for guys that struggle in front of crowds, they were able to have a better year because there wasn't as big a pressure. Like, everyone's always good at practice here. Everyone's always good, if you go out and the lights just went off. Everyone's always good, but it's when you get out in front of 100,000, then can you still do the same thing that you do really well at practice? So from a performance perspective, I think some guys probably were propped up and some guys lost a bit due to that. But then also I would say for me the perspective was of just even greater appreciation of what we've been given. I know I was walking around big time in COVID when we were really only allowed to leave our house to go for a walk by ourselves, and it's just like, man, this could have been taken away from us so quickly, and a greater appreciation for the opportunities that we're given. Not many people get to do what we're able to do. Not many people get the good tickets that I get to the game where I get to sit there, run out there for 3 seconds and then come off and watch the whole game from the sideline. So just a great appreciation of the opportunity that is given to us and just how quickly that could be taken away. And maybe that's not due to a pandemic, but maybe that's due to an injury or, something goes wrong in your life and, you just try and hold on to how special this is. And then again, that goes back to preparing the best that you can to make sure you give yourself an opportunity to do well because, it goes pretty fast. I didn't last long back home in our professional league, so you want to hold on to it for as long as you can and do the best you can.
Okay, we got time for 2 more. Jeff Drummond and then Josh. Jeff?
Hey, Max, that's kind of a quick 2-part question for you. I didn't get to see Jordan at college. Did he transition kind of from the style that you use to the NFL style? Have you asked him for any advice just on what it takes to make it there?
Jordan did a bit more pocket than what we did. I would say, though, in general to that question, a lot of Australian guys have transitioned from rolling out the majority of time, if not all the time, to being able to spiral. Mitch Wisnowski rolled out pretty much his entire time at Utah and then went in the 4th round. So it's something we practice a lot, and just because we haven't done it a whole lot in games doesn't mean that we're not good at it. We work really hard on it before we come over in case we end up at a school where they want to spiral more so. And then we work at it all the time in I was here for 3 years, so the 3 years that I'm here I work at it all the time. So some guys have had really good success. Michael Dixon rolled out a lot. Mitch has rolled out a lot. Aaron Sipos rolled out almost every time. And then they were able to transition. I think obviously we kick the ball ever since we start being able to walk. So I think it's a relatively easy transition.
Josh Moore?
Max, seems like to me you're a guy that you based on the psychology and health promotion and just all that stuff. And you're kind of set up if you want to, coaching or administration, something like that. Something you could transition to easily. Is that something you've thought about, in the future? And would you want to go back home and do that, or would you prefer to stay stateside and maybe try to give that a go?
Yeah, it's always kind of something in the back of my mind of what I want to do post sport. I've tried to stay in sport for as long as I can, and hopefully that can continue. But yeah, it's definitely something that I enjoy. I love the sports psychology side of things. I love coaching. I love being part of the leadership group this year, and being able to have a little bit of input in what we're trying to do as a team, and maybe the direction that we want to go. And hopefully, if I've done a good job, then someone will hire me on. Whether that's going to be, special teams coach. Maybe I run kicking camps. I'm not too sure. Maybe if Coach Stoops likes me enough, he'll give me a job. So I hope he watches this because I'd like that. I'll make sure I send it to him even if he doesn't. But yeah, I'd love to continue with being able to be around elite sport. And I love competing. I love winning and losing. I kind of am a little bit addicted to that roller coaster of the ups and downs that sport brings and how hard you have to prepare, and then maybe only getting, for our football, 12 opportunities to actually show that, and you either win or you lose, and you kind of you ride that roller coaster. So I'd love to stay involved in that, particularly if it was a coaching aspect once I'm done with football, but hopefully I'm not done yet.
All right, thanks, Max, so much. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks,
for